Sunny and breezy today. We have the latest Labor Day holiday forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Fire destroys a home in Cumberland County, leaving 6 people homeless. The search for a cause of the fire.
New inflation data is out today. I'm Rachel Hersheimer at the White House with what this could mean for car, credit card, and mortgage rates.
WGAL News 8 begins with breaking news.
That breaking news, more information about the man in Lancaster County who shot his ex-wife multiple times yesterday before he killed himself. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Shapiro. News 8's Sarah Metz joins us live with the breaking information on yesterday's attempted murder-suicide in Quarryville. Sarah.
Yeah, Susan, Marcus Towton had multiple protection from abuse orders against him, including a temporary one that was just granted on August 27th, the day before the attack. Now, records from Lancaster County Prothonotary's office show that this was not the first time the victim applied and was granted a PFA against Towton. Now, the first one was in May of 2023, which was then dismissed a few months later. And then again in April of 2024, when the couple filed for divorce. The woman petitioned to terminate that PFA in September of 2024, and it was official last November. There was also a third temporary PFA applied for in January of this year. It was then dismissed in April. The couple's divorce was also finalized that same exact month. Sarah Metz, WGAL News 8.
Thank you, Sarah. School district leaders are warning lawmakers that further delays on a state budget could have consequences for students, including fewer staff members. House Democrats have been pushing for an increase in funding for schools, but Senate Republicans say spending has to be controlled.
Most have a rainy day fund where they can survive, but lower income districts like Harrisburg or Steelton, those reserves aren't that big, so they start to run into some pretty tough problems pretty quickly.
Everything is a ripple effect of negativity in a state that desperately needs to grow, not only economically, but demographically, especially as we age rapidly and we're losing our future tax base and workforce keeps shrinking.
A state lawmaker plans to walk from his district in Philadelphia to the state capitol in Harrisburg to draw attention to funding for mass transit. Representative Malcolm Kenyatta started his trek this morning at 7 a.m. from his home in Philadelphia. He wants to make a point that Pennsylvanians are struggling and that mass transportation should be the top of mind for everyone voting on the state budget.
I'm walking 105 miles to try to draw attention to this and to, be a little bit of a, tiny display of the physical pain and struggle that everyday Pennsylvanians are dealing with because of these cuts.
He plans to stop at Ewell Plaza in Lancaster tomorrow and hopes that some people will join on part of the journey. A few clouds this morning, but we are seeing some clearing now. Meteorologist Ryan Argenti has more on our forecast as we look live from our Skycam network. Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see some partly sunny conditions across the area right now, but we do have a cold front that's going to slowly make its way and finally begin to make its way eastward as we go through the rest of the day today. So we are, and because of that cold front, we're expecting an isolated shower chance and also a little bit breezy as we get into the rest of this afternoon. Fantastic holiday weekend is shaping up for us. And then as we get into September, it's going to be very pleasant for the first week. Here's Storm Team Live Radar Network. You can see on the satellite product there, it's mainly some fair weather clouds, but you can see there's a bit of a cold front draped over the Commonwealth at this point. That's what's going to help trigger this chance of an isolated shower. But if you get an isolated shower, don't worry, it's only going to be lasting for about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes at max today. 72 degrees in York, wind variable at about 7 miles per hour. Temperatures across the area remaining right into the lower 70s, but we'll top out right around the mid 70s later this afternoon. But yeah, definitely a breeze out there into the teens, a 13 mile per hour breeze in Chambersburg and whatnot. 12-hour forecast, you can see topping out right around 76 degrees right around 3 o'clock and then dipping down to the 50s overnight tonight. But we'll have more on the full forecast coming up here in a few more minutes.
New at noon, breaking news from York. Charges have been filed against a man after they say he attacked a group of drag performers last Friday in York. Devin Harbaugh is charged with aggravated assault and strangulation for the incident at the Gift Horse Brewing. In announcing the charges, the police commissioner said incidents like this should not occur anywhere, But when and if they do, I'm thankful that I work for the kind of agency I do, with the kind of incredible officers, investigators, and administration I have, who aren't afraid to take another look in order to do the right thing. News 8's Morrissey Walsh will have a live update in the next half hour. And look at this. The American Red Cross is helping 6 people following this house fire yesterday in Cumberland County. The home on Shed Road is a total loss. No word on a cause. A shooting in Catonsville outside of Baltimore left 3 people dead. Officers found the 3 people around 3:30 yesterday when they responded to a check on subject call. Homicide detectives say they're not searching for additional suspects, and there's no threat to the public. The investigation continues into the mass shooting in Minneapolis that left 2 children dead and more than a dozen injured, and the community is still grieving. NBC's Jay Gray has more from Minneapolis.
Well, as the investigation continues and intensifies here, we are learning more about the planning for this attack. Police now saying it had been going on for years, since the suspect was a teenager. We also know that this suspect had written hundreds of pages of journals and manuscripts, most of those pages filled with hate, according to police. We know that there are now videos, pictures, and social media posts that they are going through, trying to determine what the motive in this attack may be. Now, police will tell you that they believe the shooter wanted to gain notoriety from the attack, but that wasn't what was driving the attack, and they haven't settled on a motive at this point. That's something they continue to investigate as this community continues to try and surround those who've been most affected, the families of the victims. There is a lot of pain here, a lot of people who are really struggling with what's happened here, as you can imagine, and most now getting over the initial shock and understanding that any type of recovery is going to take some time. That's the very latest right now here in Minneapolis. I'm Jay Gray, NBC News.
2 deputies in Kentucky were shot overnight while serving an arrest warrant at a home. The 2 deputies were initially called to the scene around 10 last night to serve the arrest warrant for flagrant non-support of a child. The suspect then opened fire.
There was heavy gunfire. They were evacuated, transported, one by ground, one by air, both to UC. They're currently in stable condition.
One of the deputies required surgery. Police say the shooter died from a self-inflicted gunshot. President Trump canceled former Vice President Kamala Harris's Secret Service protection. Presidents receive protection for life, while vice presidents have it for 6 months after leaving office. Former President Joe Biden signed a directive to extend Harris's protection for an additional year, something that Trump just canceled before her multi-city book tour. The Powerball jackpot this weekend is up to $950 million after no one matched all 6 numbers in Wednesday's drawing. It is the 6th largest prize amount now in Powerball history. The jackpot has been rolling over since May 31st, and you can watch tomorrow night's drawing live right here at the top of News 8 at 11. New inflation numbers have just been released. The Federal Reserve is closely watching the report and concerns of a new price spike and uncertain job market. News 8's Rachel Hersheimer has more from our Washington bureau.
We're looking at core inflation, which cuts out costs for food and energy. The Federal Reserve has kept interest rates higher to try to drive that number down, but a shaky job market may make them reconsider.
Risks to inflation are tilted to the upside, and risks to employment to the downside. A challenging situation.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell signaled the board may lower interest rates next month, even as inflation remains above their 2% annual target. Today's data shows prices are up 2.9% since last year. Lower interest rates would make it cheaper to borrow money, but could encourage people to spend more, which drives up prices. Powell says President Donald Trump's ever-changing tariffs make it difficult to predict how they can impact prices. An economist we spoke with says the president's policies are broadly impacting the economy.
The mass deportation policy is not targeting criminals. They're taking people off of work sites, out of the fields and agriculture, off of construction sites.
He also suggests utility prices in electricity and water are going up because of investments in data centers and Republican budget cuts diversifying energy sources. At the White House, I'm Rachel Hersheimer.